All
Oh,
right. There we go. So we're
Okay.
on the record.
all right, good afternoon, everyone. This is the May 29th, 2024 citation hearing session. We are at Norwalk City Hall in the conference room of the Planning and Zoning Department. For those of you who are here on matters on the agenda, this is how we'll operate this process. We'll go one case on a case-by-case basis. The proceedings are fairly informal, but not so informal that we can't keep track of who's saying what, and we don't interrupt each other and all of that, but we don't follow strict rules of evidence. Whoever testifies will be sworn before they testify. And sequentially, the way this works is the zoning enforcement person, who I believe is Ian,
Yes.
on all of these, Ian Hall. He will, as each case comes up, he'll tell me what the case is about and where we need to go. And on a preliminary level, the property owner will be then sworn, or whoever the respondent is will be sworn, and I'll hear from a little bit back and forth, and we'll figure out where to go from here. All right. Any questions? My name is Robert Maslin, for the record, and I'm the hearing officer. So, Mr. Hall, do you have an agenda here? There are, what, 6 items on it?
Yeah.
Are there any that we can dispose of quickly?
We do have one that requested a continuance, 26 Wall Street.
That's number 1 on the agenda. Is that Attorney Grenier's case?
Yes, correct.
And he is asking for,
A continuance for the next meeting, which the date has not been set yet.
okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on in this case? Because I want to make sure we're not dealing with any critical health and safety issues that need to be addressed.
Of course, very simple story. They opened up a vape shop without permits. This was brought to our attention by our director, where we saw signage and the windows were all boarded. It was pretty clear signs that they were doing some work inside. No application was submitted to us, no contact was made to us. And we kept an eye on it. Then eventually they opened with signage, no permits whatsoever. With the new regulations, we do have more restrictions on vape shops where they could open. And this location is now a place that they could open. I've been in contact.
When you said they are open?
They are open.
Can they be open?
Not without any permits.
They have no permits?
No permits, no applications, no. It's not even like we denied an application, they just never applied to us.
What about building?
Not to them either. How the process works, I'll just explain to those watching at home. First, they apply for a planning and zoning approval. Then once that is approved, the conservation sign off is made, then they could get the building department permit after us. So zoning is the first step for all permits like this. And
How about the health department?
Health department, that's typically a separate process, but we have no knowledge that they got anything from the health department either.
Do you know if there's any licensing issues for vape shops that this goes a little beyond zoning? I'm concerned that activity is going on that should be permitted maybe by other agencies.
I believe the fire marshal.
That's beyond your scope, but have referrals been made for those agencies to look into it?
No, not this time, no.
Okay, all right. Do you have any reason not to grant a continuance?
I have no reason to. I've been in contact with the attorney Mark Grenier, and he has given me ample evidence that the landlord and himself are working on fixing the violation. They are taking this seriously. They did send notice to the tenant saying that they're in breach of their contract by not getting any permits, and if they don't resolve it within a matter of time, they will face eviction.
Who's the actual, I'll call it a respondent, who got the citation?
It was
The building owner or the tenant?
It was the building owner. It's under LLC, Neo Leosa LLC. And the point of contact for is LLC. I have it here. Notice. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Is Oriana and Athenzios Blitzas have received notice.
They're the tenants?
The building owners.
Are you in the process of issuing a citation to the tenants?
How we do this, that we, whoever owns the property is responsible for what's going on, so they receive notice and citation from us, the building owners.
Would you, at some point in the future, if you're getting cooperation from the landlord but not the tenant?
I would mind hopping in this one.
I could do it. Would you like me to, hop in there, Counselor?
Sure.
Okay. Some of you may recognize me from previous hearings, Deputy Zoning Inspector John Hayducky. I'm here for technical support and for other inquiries that are needed. So state statute requires that we only send notice to the owner of record as they are the responsible parties. So even if the tenants refuse or are slow or not timely in their remedy, it still falls to the property owners. The property owner is the one that would be responsible for any fines that are levied. And further, they're also responsible for signing off on any building, health, or fire permits. So therefore, if we feel that nothing's being done, it still falls on the property owner. We actually do not have authority to, in state statute, to cite the actual tenant. So in all of our cases, the citations, fines, anything goes to the owner of record, the tax department.
Okay, just for sort of discussion purposes, because I'm concerned it's a vape shop,
Mhm.
which has a certain health issue.
Yep.
To it. And I'm looking at the enforcement regulations, section 8.5.1B does refer to lessees or tenants as potential.
Correct, that's our,
So
Okay.
what I'll do is continue this.
oh yeah, let's see.
I'm just gonna recommend, I can't require you to do this, but recommend that you talk to Corporation Counsel's office about citing the tenant, because it seems that the tenant is really the violator here. Yes, the owner does have some responsibility, but the tenant is the one that you want to discontinue the violation, right?
Well, absolutely, and I believe that, yeah, I have, this is not the pun, not my, I haven't handled the file, but, typically for my own, when I send my citations and my notes, I do send it to the tenant as well as the owner. So the owner, however, receives the, if we do constable service, it goes to the owner. The tenant is copied either via certified mail or regular US mail. But again, the response and the onus is on the tenant, not tenant, I apologize, the property owner. So,
But I'd just like you to explore the possibility of issuing a citation directly to the tenant, because that's the violator.
right,
And then, of course, as a kind of example, what do you do with a land lease? Where there's a landowner,
yeah,
but that lessee is on a 99-year lease that
right.
actually owns the building. And where do you? draw
Right,
the
on
line
land,
between-
on land lease, if we got, if that is on the tax bill, on the tax records,
Mhm.
we'll send that to them. We'll send it to both, and.
All right, what date you,
So, we do have some holidays to work around and another citation hearing. So the next citation hearing is scheduled to be on June 26th. That is for, my colleagues,
That's
Mr.
fine.
Hidaki, so that day is reserved. The week before that is a holiday, it is Juneteenth. None of us will be here, so, don't believe that would be a good option. The following week after the 26th is the week of 4th of July. The 4th of July is a Thursday. We could do it on the
On the
third,
third?
we could do it on the third, it is up to you, if you'd like to
I mean,
have any.
if you have an agenda for me on the third, I can come in on the third.
July tenth is probably a better option.
Okay.
Yeah, there's.
10th, so the week after, though.
Okay.
Okay, that way no holidays to work around.
So why don't we continue this to July 10th? And then if you do issue a citation to the tenant, put the tenant down for the same day.
Let me give you the digital form, Wall Streets. Here you go, this is for you, the decision form. Thank you.
Any others that can be disposed of quickly? That
Nothing.
wasn't so
Yes.
quick.
Nothing to my knowledge. I think we can move forward with the agenda. I would like to address the people that are here, just for the
Sure.
sake of their time.
Do you wanna,
Yes, I believe, 8 Kendall Court. Is that you guys? Yes, like to hear 8 Kendall Court next.
anybody else here? They're last.
We do have, 7 Norval, I believe, and what? 51.
28 Rowan here? Anybody here on 28 Rowan?
I can actually, I'll jump in quickly on that one. He is not, he actually stopped by earlier today and he said he just would not be able to make it today. So he is not coming today. We have nothing in writing to that, you just, yeah, trust me.
Oh, okay, you're recommending a continuance, anyway.
Yes,
So we'll continue that to the same day.
okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. We will all be covered by the holiday by then.
Speak for yourself.
Thank you. We are a third of the way there.
7 Norvell is here.
Yes,
You want to do that one?
sure. For 7 Norval, the respondent
I
has.
don't, is the person?
Yes.
Did you have, could you come up, have a seat at the table here?
Appreciate if somebody translate.
Of course, yes, he did request translating service and we do have, translator. This for you and. That memo, which I believe you have a copy of this already, and the,
Does he have a copy?
right here.
All right. Gotta do some swearing in.
Okay.
I guess we're taking evidence on this. This is, the rooming house, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I need you to raise your right hands. Could you, first of all, I need you. Do you solemnly swear that the translation that you shall give during this hearing shall be true and accurate to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you. And what language, just for the record?
For the record, my name is Luis Estrella, and I'll be the Spanish speaking interpreter.
Okay, thank you. And you too. You both, you're gonna have to translate along. You don't need to raise your hand, just translate along the way. Do you both solemnly swear or sincerely affirm that the testimony you shall give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
Repeat that one more time, so I could go along with you. So usted solamente procura que lo que usted va a decir en esta corte es la verdad, solamente la verdad, solo lo perdone Dios. He said, yes.
Yes.
I do, yes. Okay. I believe I might have given you an extra copy of my memo.
Well, I have one here. So,
Thank you.
Básicamente, sí.
all right, Mr. Hall, now, when you speak, would you speak a little slower than usual so
Yeah.
that the translator can
Attorney Mazel.
take breaks as you go along?
Of course.
Attorney Mazel, would you like this? I'll be clear, my name is on some of this, so if you had any questions for me, if you want to swear me in as well.
Do you-
Totally up to you.
Sir, do you solemnly swear or sincerely affirm that the testimony you shall give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Mr. Hall.
Okay. So this one is started, based on a previous violation. We had an inquiry, regarding just a potential rooming house that was created within the property on 7 Norval. 7 Norval is the CD1S zone, which is in short, it's a single family zone. That's the primary use for that zone is to be single family. And the previous violation was creation of a rooming house and finishing the basement without permits.
Entonces está aquí porque nosotros estamos tratando de hacer.
You can speak up.
Oh,
Don't,
good.
you don't have to whisper,
Okay.
because it'd be helpful
Alright.
if it's on the
Lo-
record,
lo-
so
lo
if any
están,
questions come up.
están diciendo que nos encontraron haciendo apartamentos ilegales en un zoning CD1, que es familias, que es de zoning de una sola familia, que usted arregló el basement sin sacar permisos. Y sería eso.
Okay. Okay, so,
¿Una pregunta?
Sí,
Sería esa question.
sure.
Why don't we just let Mr. Hall finish, and then he can ask as many questions as you'd
And
like.
it's the minute, but I don't think I get it.
Okay, so on, let's go through this. So I just wanted to give you a copy of the previous violation that we had was dated back in June 26th from last year. This was for the work without permit and creation of a two-family residence within what was at the time a B residence zone, which was again a single-family zone at the time.
Entonces, ese es un papel de junio 26, de cuando usted hizo un segundo apartamento ilegalmente en un B-family zone, que es zone de una familia.
And that was sent out by certified mail, as these documents show, and which will be on the screen.
Los documentos enseñan que se lo mandaron por correo certificado, que usted lo recibió.
Following that, I do not believe we had a response for this, so a citation was sent on July 20th, the same year, 2023. And again, was sent out via certified mail and our constable service.
No recibieron una respuesta, solo mandaron una citación el mismo año del 2023 por correo certificado y mandaron un constable también.
Okay, after this, on July 24th, the property owner reached out to my colleague, John Hayducky, just wanting to know what was going on. And my colleague, Mr. Hayducky, just let him know regarding what was the situation, what the citation meant, and requested that he send an email or stop by at City Hall just to talk over what was going on.
Que usted después contactó a John Hayducky el 24 de julio, preguntando, que qué se pasa, que, qué está pasando, y que ellos le dijeron que o mandaron un email o viniera en persona a City Hall.
He also wrote my colleague, Mr. Hayducky, on August 15th, a letter explaining the situation and provided plans, which these plans will be, they're not on the presentation, they will be available in our office during normal business hours if anyone would like to review them in office.
Que se llamó de nuevo a John Hayducky el 15 de agosto, explicándole los planes que quería hacer y que usted mandó unos planes y que los planes no van a estar en el récord, pero están en la oficina cuando están abiertos de 9 a 5.
And on February 8th, this year, 2024, our inspectors, Lee DeMarco and Mary Beth Chassie, did an inspection of the property and discovered that the use of it was a rooming house. There was 5 rooms being used as bedrooms. Deadbolt locks were on at least 3 of these rooms. There were key locks between the lower level and the living room. A separate entrance on the south side that was led to a storage area, a family room, bedroom with 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. There were also locked and numbered storage units that were observed in the lower level. And when they were doing inspections, they observed the property owner had a large key ring with separate keys for every single lock.
So, en febrero de este año, 2 inspectoras de la ciudad fueron a inspectar su propiedad, encontraron 5 cuartos separados, 3 de ellos tenían sus llaves separadas, hay separación de llave entre el primer piso y el segundo piso, aunque es una sola familia, y cuando las inspectoras estaban allá, lo vieron a usted con muchas llaves, que hay muchos candados y cosas.
On February 8th, an email from my colleague, John Hayducky, was sent to the property owner, describing the situation and saying what we'll need to resolve it. And the same day, another citation was issued for the creation of the rooming house. And this was sent again by certified mail and not via our constable. Oh, yes, and via our constable service.
Otra vez este año, John Hayducky le mandó una carta y en esa carta le explicaron la evidencia que encontraron y cómo se podría arreglar el problema.
And on the 29th.
Can I just, I don't mean to interrupt your flow, but it would be good point for me to catch up on the chronology.
Of course, yes, of course.
So this started in June of 2023
Correct. So esto empezó en junio de 2023. Correcto.
with and that was a notice of violation.
Correct. I will defer to my colleague John, if
Yeah,
he's the one who sent it, and it was a
Yes.
violation, correct?
Yes, it was a notice, I have it here on the screen. I will throw that here.
Okay,
Right there.
and then, all right, so
Third,
corrective action was not taken.
correct, it was
At
not
that
taken
time?
within the permitted duration by the state, 15 days. We did not get an application nor a correspondence.
Okay.
So then
and then-
based on that, we sent the citation, the initial
Dijo que le
citation.
mandaron una carta y usted no arregló el problema de otros 15 días. Eso por eso fue que le mandaron la noticia de violación.
¿Será que puedo hablar? Porque mucha información no.
He said, can I talk? There's a lot of information, but nothing.
In a moment,
Yeah,
okay.
almost
No,
done.
no, no.
Okay, so what was the disposition of the citation from 2023?
This was that there was a confirmation of the, they need a permit for the finished, all the work that was done on each level and any, unpermitted work to be removed.
Was there a fine? Was there?
No, there was no fine issue at that, because once the citation was sent, we did get a
Le
response.
mandaron una carta para que básicamente sacara permiso y arreglara todo lo que usted había hecho sin permiso el año pasado de junio.
When we sent the citation, we did get a response from, the property owner, Mr. Madera.
Cuando mandaron una carta y fue que usted respondió.
And that was within this was on July 20th, the citation was sent. And the response was given to us within the 5-day grace period of the citation. So any of our citations before a hearing, there's the 5-day grace period. This was on July 23rd. He stopped in. I was not in the office at the time.
Dijo que no han dado multa porque usted llegó antes, usted vino antes de 5 días.
So what was the end? What happened at the end of that citation process from 2023?
So
What was its status? Was there
the
a
status at
fine?
this time was the owner was working with us to try and attempt to resolve the matter at the property of the illegal use.
And the
property.
resolution,
Would have been a permit, getting a permit to
hey, what
remedy
kind of,
a
zoning and building?
zoning approval and a consequential, subsequent building permit.
Which I have not.
Well, at the time, that was the resolution, the owner and myself were working to accomplish that.
and did the owner follow through?
At that time, there was follow through, but there was no permit or approval issued. As in follow through, as in we were in discussion to resolve. There was no permit or
Okay,
issued. And then how this came back to where we sent the new notice was the property owner actually did follow, the property owner came in around January, February of 2024 and said that he needed an inspection for basically he would need an updated certificate for a refinance of the house. So we need to do a zoning inspection. And then this email, if I may shoot through my
okay, so just,
Yeah, so
so I am
Yeah.
sure I understand.
Sure.
There was a notice, a citation, and that came to a conclusion with the owner to apply for a permit,
correct,
but then the permit was never issued, and then
Right.
no fine.
nothing, correct,
Basically, the citation matter was ended, but then early this year, the owner needed a zoning sign off for finance purposes. And that's when this
And-
resurrected.
correct. And our inspector went out to conduct an inspection, found the issues that they were still
How
there.
many units are there?
There's one unit. There are, however, the conditions there represent a rooming house.
What's a rooming house?
so you wanna-
Yeah. What's, explain for the record what,
Yes.
or maybe either one of you, what a rooming house is under the zoning regs.
Rooming house is a more than 3 unrelated people which share common cooking and living space. But they have separate living quarters, which could be, which would be separated by, deadbolt, lock and key, things of that nature. And they basically have their own separate living spaces, share one common kitchen, but more than three unrelated people is the key. Key
Okay.
there.
And how many, do you know how many are there?
The exact number do not have the exact number. I'm basing on how many may be there by the number of.
Hay más de 3 gente que obviamente son familias que viven todos juntos. Y todo está cerrado por llave. Y
I believe in the inspection, only been noted 5 lots.
Right, I'm basing this on the testimony of our inspector, Mary Beth Chassie, in her email dated February 8th, 2024, which, is in the file and, Deputy Inspector Hall can present to you. Basically, that there's 5 rooms being used, as bedrooms with deadbolt locks and on 3 of those rooms.
Okay,
So if you have the 3 deadbolts plus the other 2, that makes more than.
and when was the last inspection?
The last physical inspection from the zoning office was that on February 8th, 2024.
Okay.
And if I may, does this thing actually work? I do apologize for this. We need to get an update on, need to get an update on our Adobe here. So as you can see, this photo here is of the basement from that inspection. And shows this is the basement with separate closets for storage for, tenants. And it's, 13, 12, 11. And.
Okay.
So that's
Do
based
you have
on,
other photographs? Any other photographs?
from that inspection,
Well, from any,
from any.
Yes, we have more coming.
Yep, there are more coming, just, I didn't want to jump too far ahead for the.
well,
you
just
wanted to-
jump through the pictures because that's really what I'm interested in at the moment.
Yeah, let's see.
This is after a zoning approval has been
Right,
issued
that's-
on.
Correct, so when we sent the notice for that, after that inspection done by our inspectors, we sent the notice, the owner responded. And he did obtain a permit to remedy what he could, meaning,
eso es cuando se saca un permiso para arreglar lo que pudo.
and we have a copy of that permit.
This
Here.
was approved on Leap Day, February 29th of this year. And this was for minor renovations to a single family residence.
Yep, which the interior renovations would be,
Pictures.
yep, sorry. So this was actually an inspection, done also by the building department, from the building department as well. There they are. So this is still the basement showing the separate, closets for the separated storage rooms for individuals.
These are here.
Here.
These are the same pictures that are here.
Yes.
Yeah. And this was a bedroom that's undocumented in the basement. So all these photos are also in the basement, which
So-
we also have no permits for a finished basement as well. That was also encompassed in that permit we issued.
All right, so how many boarders or roomers?
We will say that there is definitely at least 4, because there are 3 dead bolted locks per the inspection testimony from our inspector on February 5th, which is in that email there. 3 deadbolts plus at least 2 more that did not have deadbolts. We're gonna say, I would submit that there's at least 4.
Okay.
And let's go into here. So this is going again,
And does that still exist today?
But these photos here that you're seeing right now, actually, I'm glad you brought that up, were taken by our, actually one of our building inspectors, and I can get that here. One of the town building inspectors here, Peter Kelly. This was on April 11th
This year?
this year. Correct.
Okay,
And these are the conditions that you saw. He commented, wanted to make sure we knew it was a finished lower level, laundry, storage, and bedroom.
okay, so then on April 30th, there's a new citation.
Correct, new citation, because we had not gotten there's still no PO and the building department, They did not close out their permit because, there were adjustments that needed from that. They did not pass their inspection.
Are they punch list items or are they
That's
significant?
I'll be honest there, Counselor. It's not, it wasn't submitted to us exactly what they needed,
Okay,
but, all I can verify is they do not have a certificate
Okay.
issued. So,
all right. I'm inclined to.
Yes, yeah, my last piece of evidence was just a citation that we sent.
yeah, we did
certified
send
mail.
citation with
Okay.
today's date.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Madera, would you like to explain what's happening here and why you should or should not be fined?
Yeah, of course, yes.
Usted que él está dando la oportunidad de explicar por qué no le deben multar o no.
Okay, todo comenzó el 26 del año pasado, 23. Yo recibí una notificación del City Hall, al cual yo respondí. Yo vine aquí y respondí y les pregunté a aquel departamento y yo solamente mandé planos, que fue lo que me exigieron. Yo los dejé y de ese entonces no recibí ninguna carta. Hasta febrero, si quieres, habla para que...
Yeah. So he said everything started last year, 2023, where he said he tried to submit a permit and he submitted plans. But then he never received a letter. So siga.
Ok, este año tuve que hacer una appraisal para mi casa y fue cuando me salió esta nota. Por esta nota fue que yo me di cuenta que tenía un problema en el City Hall.
So he tried to do the refinance, and that's when he tried to do the refinance, he saw that there's a note, and the note said, that there's a problem at City Hall.
Mi familia, mi esposa y yo pensábamos que ya el caso había terminado. De junio 23 a febrero o marzo, cuando fue que comencé a hacer la presa, que salió esta nota, fue que nos dimos cuenta que teníamos el mismo problema. Pensaba que ya se había cerrado. Vine aquí y hablé con John y fue cuando John me explicó que no se había terminado. Y entonces yo le pregunté por qué no seguimos el proceso. Por,
So he said when he tried to refinance, that's when him and his family realized that there was still a problem. So that's when he came here, he reached out to you, and he's been trying to get information on why the problem is still going on. He said that they were under the impression that it was closed, that it was closed between June 2023 to February or March of 2024. That there was like a type of period where it would have
What do you mean
down.
closed? The matter was
¿Qué,
finished?
qué usted pensó que iba a estar cerrado? ¿Como
Bueno.
el caso?
sí, exacto. Yo no recibí ninguna noticia del City Hall.
Sí.
Pensé que se había cerrado todo porque yo colaboré, vine aquí y hablé con el City Hall. Di lo que ellos me pidieron, que eran unos planos. Aparte de los planos, yo les dije, yo te voy a dar una foto y se las di. Ellos no me lo pidieron, yo se las di.
Okay. He said that when he came here, he met with you initially, that you had asked him for specific things like plans and what he was going to do. So he said he submitted those plans. And then after he submitted those plans, he also gave you photos. He said the photos, no one asked him for the photos, but he was trying to give you more information than that. And then since he never received a letter back or any type of notification from you guys, he automatically assumed that it was done.
De aquí los hijos me dijeron, estamos tratando de verificar que en tu casa no hay otra cocina. Y yo le dije a él que yo no tenía otra cocina. Por eso fue que le dije, te voy a mandar fotos porque yo no tengo otra cocina en mi casa. Yo solamente tengo una.
He said that when you guys approached him and you guys were explaining to him what the violations were, that you guys told him that it was a kitchen. And he kept telling you guys that I don't have a second kitchen in my house. I don't have a second kitchen. And that's what he sent you the photos. So you can see that there is no second kitchen.
Ok, después de eso que yo vine aquí, que fue que me di cuenta que tenía problemas, vine aquí, hablé con John, yo me dijo, bueno, vamos menos mal que viniste, y yo le pregunté por qué no me mandaron unas notas para yo venir? O sea, ¿por qué esperar a última hora? O sea, yo estoy viniendo aquí, no fue porque ustedes me llamaron, yo vine aquí porque me di cuenta que hay un problema con mi casa y ustedes nunca me la participaron a mí.
He said, if City Hall knew that there was a problem with this house, that the problem wasn't remediated, then why did you guys never reach out to me? Why did you guys wait for me to try to get my house refinanced to bring this up?
No me supieron dar la respuesta. John me dijo, te vamos a mandar unos inspectores para ver si tienes otra cocina en mi casa. Y yo le volví a rectificar que no tienen otra cocina. Fueron los inspectores, dos mujeres, a mi casa. Yo no sabía que en mi casa, yo teniendo en las puertas, eso es un delito. Yo no sabía, yo no sé, yo no. En ningún reglamento, cuando yo compré la casa, me dijeron, no pueden colocar locks en las puertas. Yo no sabía eso.
He said, when I originally reached out to John, no one answered my questions. And then 2 inspectors showed up at my house and I didn't know it was a crime to have locks on my doors. When I bought the house, no one explained to me that I couldn't have locks on my doors.
No hay una información. En ningún lado te dice
There's
que
no,
poner lock en las puertas de tu casa es un delito, es un crimen, qué sé yo.
there's no information saying that putting locks on your house is a crime. He said, I don't understand how I'm being violated.
Hold on. Cuando llegaron los inspectores, ellos fueron a los inspectores, por supuesto, tengo los locks, yo no veo ningún problema con eso, y comencé a abrir. Mi hijo estaba durmiendo, mi hermana está, o sea, cada quien tiene sus locks, cada quien duerme con sus locks. O sea, yo no le veo ningún problema a eso. Desde ese día en adelante me di cuenta que eso es aquí, eso no se debe. Bueno, yo no sabía.
He said, when the inspector showed up at my house, I was just unlocking my doors. My kid was asleep. He goes, we all have our own keys. My sister has her own key. Every door has a lock.
Luego vine aquí, las inspectores dijeron que tenía que venir aquí y hablar con John porque vieron que no les gusta, o sea, el problema del lock. Yo vine para acá y le dije, bueno, ¿cuál es Me mandaron una carta que tenía que cumplir ciertos requisitos. Traté de cumplir con los requisitos y le pregunté a John, cambié la cerradura. Después volvió, John me dijo que no hay ningún problema, que mandara otra vez otros planos. Le volví a dar los planos y entonces, desde un principio yo estaba colaborando. Yo no sé por qué estoy aquí,
He
como quien
said,
dice, del lado como de culpabilidad, sino yo siempre he estado colaborando y he estado detrás del City Hall. El City Hall no ha estado detrás de mí. Yo siempre he estado detrás del City Hall. Y yo estoy aquí porque vi esto, no porque ustedes me mandaron a mí la información.
he said, he's tried to collaborate the whole time. He's been, communicating with you. So you guys mailed me a list of what to do. I collaborated with your list. The inspectors came out again. And I'm only here not because you guys caught me doing something bad. I'm here because of what showed up on my notes. He goes, City Hall has not supported me at all. I've been supporting City Hall and cooperating, but City Hall does not support me.
Can I ask a few questions at this point? Is that okay? How many people live in the house now?
¿Cuánta gente vive en la casa ahora mismo?
Como 7 personas. Mi hijo, mi hija, mi esposa, yo, mi tía, mi tío y la esposa de mi tío.
7 people. Me, my wife, my kid, my daughter, my sister, my uncle, and my uncle's wife.
Quiero preguntar, ¿hay un problema? ¿Hay una limitación de personas en casa? Eso nadie tampoco me lo dijo.
I want to ask, is there a limit of people that can live in my house? No one has explained that to me.
Cuando yo compré la casa, nadie me dijo que tenía que tener un cupo. Nadie me dijo que tenía que tener un cupo en mi casa. Es mi casa, tengo espacio, yo meto en mi casa que me dé la gana. No sé, digo yo, pregunto.
No, when I bought the house, no one told me of an occupancy limit. It's my house. I'll do whatever I want with my house.
So that's not entirely true.
That's what he's doing. I'm just translating.
Right. No, I understand. All right.
No,
Did that-
it's real. I want to know.
No, I understand. We're gonna get to that. That's why we're here. That's why we have this
It
here.
looks like
No.
Well, I can't be here all day, so you told me 2 o'clock, so it looks like this is gonna be on and on, so.
In the second paper, it said that you may not be seen first, it'll take, if you're not first on the agenda, it'll take
This
some
is
time.
testimony right now.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be interrupting.
Okay, Mr. Hall, you've heard 7 people, they all seem to be related. Do you have any evidence to contradict the relationship among the 7 people who are
Me está
there?
preguntando si tiene alguna evidencia para contradecir si son familiares o no.
Porque, bueno,
We have no way to like run DNA or do blood samples for people to determine if they're related or not. I could say that I'm living with 17 family members. They could all be false. There's no way to for like certain with DNA evidence, no way, like we have the capacity to check that.
You have the burden of proof. Which is, I know it's a difficult thing sometimes, the burden of proof, but
We determined that like the locked doors in the separate storage containers and that was proof that we found that is sufficient enough.
Digo
But-
que
but
preguntaron
the definition-
evidencia que todo
the
está
definition
separado,
of
no
boarding
como
or
familia,
rooming
todo
house
está
is
separado.
any dwelling or portion thereof in which at least 4 unrelated persons, but not more than 20 persons are housed or boarded without separate kitchen facilities where meals may be provided. So unrelated is the key term here. And we have a Supreme Court case that goes back many years called City of East Cleveland, which deals with extended families. Is that what we're dealing with here, or is there something else going on that is not apparent from what I've heard so far?
I would say that the evidence that we were able to, at capacity to gather, was just evidence of like the locked doors and the separate storage containers, the visual proof. That was the only thing that we had the capacity to.
I
to
know,
check in
I
and forth, yeah.
understand that. Okay, and in your memo, you recommended that this be continued?
Mhm.
Is there another issue relative to zoning or building or CO that needs to be addressed along the way? In other words, work was done in the basement, is
Mhm.
that being addressed? Because
That-
that's not cited here, but it seems to be an issue.
Like any work that was done without permits, they do run the risk of like being done, if they're done without permits or no inspections, that's why it's being with the building department right now. That's why they didn't pass the inspection because to my
Okay.
knowledge, they didn't pass because it not life safety compliant, maybe
Right.
there's not enough egress.
Is this the kind of permitting situation that requires a zoning sign off before a CO can be issued?
Yeah, any interior work which has any change of use or demoing or like creation of rooms, does require. a
Okay,
zoning
so you're not at that point yet, because no one's asked you for a certificate of zoning compliance. That would then enable the building department to issue a CO.
Oh, right, yeah, we have not been reached out yet.
Quizás no, tienen que aprobar el building department y zoning también antes de que alguien pueda mudarse. To get the CO.
All right, sir, how are you working through, or what are you doing to address your permitting issues relative to the work that was done without permits?
¿Qué se está haciendo para conseguir los permisos necesarios para arreglar su basement?
¿Qué estoy haciendo?
Ujú.
Bueno, y yo estoy viniendo al City Hall y tratando de hacer todo lo que el City Hall me está tratando, estoy haciendo todos los steps. La última vez vine hace 15 días, traté de hablar con John y John no estaba, y me dijo, tienes que venir el 29 porque hay una reunión, más nada. Pudiendo haber arreglado, o sea, no sé si se podía arreglar antes, porque yo siempre, como dije, estoy detrás del City Hall. Entonces me dijeron, no, tienes que venir el 29 de mayo.
He said that-
Yo no sabía que esto era una corte.
I need you to tell me.
Yeah, he said he's been following all, so what he's been doing is he's been following all of the steps that City Hall tells him to do. He came in to meet with John and John wasn't here, so then they told him to speak to Ian, and Ian told him that he has to come here on the 29th. Once he was told to come here on the 29th, he said, they could have just told me what I need to fix and it could have been fixed by now. When I didn't know that I had to come to court.
Is there a building permit pending? Open now, or what's the status there?
Yes, no, John has more details.
Yeah, there is a building permit active Peter Kelly, the chief, the assistant building official, did conduct an inspection, and to my knowledge, it did not pass. So,
No, I got that.
so therefore, there is technically, there is a building permit.
Usted sacó un permiso para el basement, pero no pasó.
There is a building permit. It's still active, still valid. Our zoning approval that was issued in February is still active and valid because there is a building permit pulled.
Okay,
So to get complete resolution, it would be to satisfy the building department, whatever they need to pass. And then lastly, we go in and we make sure that conditions there in our eyes do not quantify either a second unit or a rooming or boarding house situation.
okay. So he needs to finish up with building, get a final inspection. You need to do a final inspection so that he can get a.
And we can go out with building, we do that.
Okay,
So
All
tiene
right.
que básicamente satisfacer lo que te diga el building department cuando vayan a inspectar y con inspeccionar y que ellos también, zoning, tienen que ir, que ellos tienen que chequear la casa de nuevo para ver que no hagan los mismos problemas, que como es una casa, como es una casa de una familia, el segundo piso y el primer piso no pueden tener llaves separadas.
Ya yo lo cambié.
He
Él
said,
me dijo, ya yo cambié las llaves. El problema de las llaves, ya yo las cambié.
he said, he's already fixed any lock issues.
That's good for
El
us.
problema es las llaves, ya yo las cambié.
He said the problem is the locks, he's already changed them.
he has to finish the permitting and inspection process to
Eh,
get final sign-offs. And what I think the staff is recommending is that we continue this for 1 month
okay,
to July tenth, so he can accomplish all of that.
so
And come July tenth, we'll see where we are.
ellos quieren continuar para el 10 de julio para que usted tenga tiempo de ir al building department y que el building department le diga a usted qué usted tiene que hacer. Hasta que el building department no apruebe el basement, ellos no pueden ir y hacer su inspección para hacer, dar el certificado. So tienen que ir al building department y hacer lo que ellos le digan.
Okay.
As maintained, they have to go to the building department and
First,
satisfy that first before,
Right,
Well,
yes.
do them simultaneously.
yeah.
You do time, you'd have to meet with Pete. 'Cause that's-
So tendría que ir a cruzar el pasillo y hablar con ellos para que Peter Kelly,
Después de hoy.
after today, or
Man, if Peter's there now, you go talk to him now, but
sí,
it
no,
might
si
be
Peter
better
está
off
ahí,
tomorrow.
te puede hablar con él.
Bueno,
cuando sea.
después de esta reunión, lo que quiero
Sí,
decir.
puede ir después de la reunión, si él está ahí, como es otra oficina, no sabemos el schedule de él. Pero puede ir hoy o puede ir mañana a hablar con Peter Kelly.
El problema de Peter es que uno tiene que llamarlo. Él nunca está ahí y nunca da la.
Problem with Peter is you always have to call him and he's never there.
I mean, that's not with them. I mean, I can't make his schedule.
I mean, it's-
I can't make his schedule, yeah.
No, bueno,
Yeah.
yo sé, pero la cosa fácil que usted dice aquí no es tan fácil para uno. Uno tiene que llamar, yo lo llamo, él me llama, yo lo llamo. Cuando él me llama, estoy trabajando. Cuando yo lo llamo a él, me llama a las 6:30, 7, uno.
What you guys explained to be such a simple process is not a simple process. I have to call him, then he calls me, then I have to call him, then he calls me, then I have to call him, then he calls me and I'm at work and then he's out and then I'm at work and then he's out. So it's not that simple.
I can appreciate that. People do that with me too. I have to call Peter too and email him, and sometimes I don't get.
Yo
something
quiero
back for
colaborar.
days.
Yo
I do
no
the
sé
same thing.
por qué me entero que esto es creo que es una corte, me dijiste. Yo no entero, me entero que esto es una corte. A mí me dijeron que era una reunión.
He said he wants to collaborate, but
Yeah.
he doesn't want to feel like he's in a court. He was told that this is a meeting, why am I in a court?
I don't know, say, it's court.
When-
Court all the time.
I think it's a swearing in.
Swearing in.
was-
I'm going to suggest that when he gets
Yeah.
a document
Mhm.
from the zoning department or any department in the city, that he bring it to somebody who can translate it for him. That may be where some of the confusion.
Él le va a sugerir que cuando le den algún documento de la ciudad, o sea, del building department o zoning, que usted lo lleve a alguien que se lo pueda traducir, porque quizás ese sea el problema.
Ahí decía un meeting, el señor también está confundido. Te puedo asegurar que
Él
aquí
no
todos
confundió,
saben.
por eso no pueden, okay.
Entonces,
So he said, this was a meeting, I don't know why I'm in court. He
okay,
goes, the gentleman over there is confused as well.
vamos a seguir.
He said, well, let's continue.
¿Qué es lo que cuál es el próximo step que tengo que hacer?
What's the next step that I have to take?
Next,
What do you
time,
do
next.
next?
Who is
Building-
suggesting this?
You're already underway here.
Yeah.
You have a building permit you're finishing whatever the building department requires. And then the zoning people will, and the building inspector will both do inspections.
So once the building department gives the okay that they are satisfied, that they can, there's a yes, you passed inspections. Our codes are met, whatever is required are met. Then they do a final inspection a walkthrough to make sure. And then I can go with Peter and do our inspection at the same. It sounds like for us that there may be compliance here,
Sounds like you're almost there.
almost there, but he needs to get.
It's not
Yeah.
that.
Dice que suena como que usted está colaborando, pero todavía necesita ir al building department y cuando el building department, Peter Kelly, diga que ya todo está resuelto, después John y Peter van a ir juntos y van a hacer la última inspección.
Yo siempre he estado colaborando.
I've always
Lo
been
único que hice
collaborating.
fue, si construí algo sin permiso, yo no sabía, porque a mí nadie me dijo que tenía que pedir
So if I
permiso.
built something without permit, I didn't know, no one told me I needed a permit.
And
That's it.
That's it.
Hice.
Easy.
now you know.
Ahora sabes.
Of course, pero si yo cometí un error y lo puedo arreglar, para eso es que
Okay,
vine a
so
solucionar el problema.
This
I'm here to
matter
fix the
is,
problem. If I'm in error, I'm here to fix the problem.
yeah, this
Very-
matter is then continued to July tenth,
Yeah, sure.
Para el 10
Here, and this in
same room,
Same time, same time.
Yeah.
So, para el 10 de julio, June or July?
July 10th.
So, el 10 de julio para las 2 p.m.
voy a recibir una carta o
Will
ya
I,
de una vez.
will I receive a letter or?
Roll notice.
Bob, would you want to make this oral notice, or do you want us to send a?
Solamente oral.
you know what, in this case, you
10
should-
de julio.
Yeah, no, we will,
regular
Amanda,
mail,
we'll send a notice out.
regular
Te
mail
voy a
would be
mandar una
fine.
carta.
Okay, thank you.
You
Certified.
make a note on your own
He-
I
file.
already
it's July
done,
10th.
yeah,
He did.
of course.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. All set.
Done?
Yes.
Here,
All set.
I'll take him across
Thank
the
you,
hall.
Luis.
if you-
I'm good.
See if Peter's there, take him across.
Great,
Yeah,
thanks.
absolutely,
all
yeah.
right, so,
Thank
Peter's there, you can take care of it now. Exactly.
thank you for your help.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Louis.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lo voy llevando, Peter.
Buenas suerte, muchachos.
Okay, so the next matter is which? Fireside?
Fireside,
Please.
they are not here.
Yes.
Um,
On the agenda, not in this room.
Are they not, maybe?
I'm gonna check out
Check
that
the
real
hallway,
quick.
yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
I had no
Are you
indication
expecting
that,
them?
no, I
Not
had
really.
no communication with them, letting me know that they were there. Are coming. Don's shaking his head, so no one is outside. In the room, we do have 8 Kendall and 51 East Avenue.
Which one first?
Let's, they're looking at them, yes.
Who's behind you?
East Avenue is behind me.
That's fine.
So which one would you like to?
East Avenue.
East Avenue? Alright, East Avenue. Okay,
Oh, wait, you're here? You're-
he is for 8 Kendall Court.
Kendall Court and
Which
East
one,
Ave.
which one's quicker?
Good question. Should be, I think Kendall Court might be quicker.
Totally up to
Okay,
you.
let's do
It's about the same.
Kendall Court.
They're about.
Kendall Court, okay. Kendall Courts. So this is, are you Jeffrey?
Yes.
Ian, that's a good person. This is for you. Yes.
Um,
And I have a copy of the memo as well. too.
here we are. I got it here.
You are prepared.
Um, Was this on before, or is this just brand new?
This is a brand new.
Bob, these are all new. I know there was a little with,
Well, with him.
the last one there.
was-
That's number
Yeah,
3.
but this, the rest of these are all new.
Brand new.
All right, are you in this too? Or
Uh,
just Ian?
Yeah, sure.
You all raise your right hand, sir. Do you all solemnly swear or sincerely affirm that the testimony you shall give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
Yes. it is.
Okay, can you give me this in a nutshell? Mr.
Okay,
Paul?
this in a nutshell.
This seems to be just storing a boat.
That is
But then
precisely it.
We'd like to-
I see something about the blight officer, is that,
Yes, so this how
is
it's
that
originated.
complicated?
No, that's how it originated.
No,
It
that's
was-
actually, it's how it originated from the blight, a referral from the
Okay.
blight office.
Okay.
So,
Correct, yes. So we got a referral from the blight officer regarding a boat on Kendall Court. As that was, the boat being there was beyond his scope, so it was forwarded to us. On the on the 12th of January, inspection confirmed that the boat storage was in the driveway. On April 3rd of this year, a notice of violation was sent via certified mail. Have John keep up.
I'm
Okay,
going,
no,
it's slow, I apologize. Trying to get through it, it's a little slow here.
Let me see the picture.
Yes,
Yeah, sorry, it's,
here's the first picture that was sent to us.
Oh, this is up on dry dock.
Yes. So the zone is again like the last case, CD1S
Let me
single
just,
family.
I have the memo here.
Okay.
Did you give him a copy of the memo?
Yes.
Okay, sir, are you doing anything about the boat?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm definitely trying, and I've been very talking with Ian multiple times on concerning it. I am trying to have it moved, but I don't know if you're a boater, but this time of season, no
A
one
boat
wants
is
to.
one of those, it's like a
Yeah.
hole in the
Yeah,
ocean, you
yeah.
keep throwing
But
money.
you know the boating. But trying to move it in this season when they're moving boats out of the yard, they don't want to take in new ones, because they're just gonna put them in front of the boats that gotta move. So they gotta
Are you
move.
using it this season?
What?
Are you gonna use it this season?
That's what I'm trying to, if I can get a mechanic in there to do what he needs to do to fix what he needs, I do want to use it. If I can't, then I want him to winterize it and then have a mover and put it in the yard.
What, where have you stored it in the past?
It's been at my parents' house, where I've always stored
Oh,
it.
this is your parents' house?
Yeah.
Under the old regulations, could you store a boat?
Depends.
no, yeah, yes, you could, the regulations changed, so I'm gonna back it up a sec. The previous regulations, you just have to meet in the zone, you have to meet all setbacks.
Okay,
So you have to meet the 40-foot setback, and it would have been 40, 10, 10, and 10. So that's all it had to be. New
so
regulation,
was that true in where this zone, what this used to be zoned?
yes, that's what I'm saying, yeah, the previous zone, that's what the setbacks were, 40 front, 10 off each side. and
You
10 off.
understand what I'm getting
I
at?
understand.
There's a concept called non-conforming use.
Right,
And there's a question whether a seasonal use like this, where you have it there in the off season, then you put it in the water and you bring it back.
Mhm.
Is that an abandonment of a non-conforming use? In my view, is probably not, because you've repeatedly done it. How many years have you done this?
It's been since I've owned it. I've owned it for. I was married for 19, so then now we're looking at, I had it for maybe like 4 or 5 years before that. 27 years.
You're not married anymore?
No,
She didn't get the boat?
no, I got the boat and the jet ski and the motorcycles, but she got the house.
That's why it's at your parents' house.
Yeah,
Do you have any dispute that this was here years previous under the old regulations?
Do not, the first, when this came to us, back in, we were under the old regulations when it was made aware to us in, January this year. We adopted their new regulations in mid-February.
Yep.
So, to our knowledge, it's been, this is the first we were hearing from this boat, of this boat, and it was, brought to our attention, in the old regulations in January this year.
and if I may, I
Is
mean,
there, is there a set, so let me start with the basic, is there a setback issue?
The zone at the time was a B residential zone, and that was a 30-foot front setback.
And-
30 feet back?
Yes, from
Well,
the property lines.
How about side?
side would have been.
6 feet.
No, in a B zone, so it is a B zone, not a, my apologies, I'll take that, if I may retract my previous testimony. I was under assumption it was an A zone, it's a B zone,
B zone, yes.
so therefore it has to be 30 feet back.
Mhm.
And it has to be screened from the street and the neighbors, there are no side setbacks, no rear setbacks.
No side or rear?
No side or rear setback, but it must be adequately screened from all neighbors and the street. That's the difference between a B and an A zone.
Would this have been a violation last year?
If a B zone, yes, it would have, because obviously, as you can see from this photo, it can be seen from the street. Not adequately screened.
What would it take to adequately? screen?
We have examples of these where, of boats and, also RVs are, campers are considered recreational vehicles like boats. Where
I
the,
mean, people have motorized, like motorhomes.
right, motorhomes, exactly, yeah. So what they would do in this case, we would say, all right, we would have screening on each side, come towards the front, and then you have a gate that would screen as much of that as possible. Now, under the old regs, there was no threshold to what adequate screening was, except in the judgment of the zoning inspector.
It's a discussion between the owner and the inspector.
Inspector, and then if there is a complaint from a neighbor, the neighbor, in this case, there's.
Do you have a complaint?
On this?
Oh, this is from the blight
So
office.
what happens, so this has, and coming full circle, the blight office got I call them blanket complaints. We don't take those here in zoning, but blight does, of conditions on Kendall Court. So the blight.
Generally, or this
Yeah,
particular property?
they would say, there's disheveled properties on Kendall Court, the blight officer goes out. If he can tag it for his regulations, he takes it. This was one, he said, hey, there's zoning, there's a big boat in the driveway. That's not my jurisdiction, would you take it?
But it's been there for so many years, no one complained, no one said anything to me, you know.
That's a story of my life. Here, there's things I've been around for.
Now, some things, that's a fair point, not always, though.
Yeah.
That's, I'm trying to get to where this one fits.
I mean, I'll be completely honest, Counselor, if the blight officer never told us about it, we'd have no reason to go down there, no reason, and even if I drove by it, we don't care, put it on the record, I would not cite it because we don't have a complaint on it. But we got a referral from another department, therefore, we investigate. And again, the issue, even under the old regs, to answer your initial question there, Counselor, is that it would, even if we had the old regs, it would still be a violation, as there's just no
You
screening
mean
in the
the
front.
screening
There's
part.
just no, it could meet the 30-foot setback. I'm gonna assume that the house
Is
was,
it forward of the house, or is it behind the front plane
It's-
of the house? Or about equal?
Forward of the house.
if I may, I do have I'll do another share
This might be a
screen.
better photo showing the placement of it being, the edge of it is
Is
above.
this a driveway that stops at the front of the house?
Yeah. It goes downhill a little bit after.
I was pulling up a quick aerial photo here to see if it's on an aerial photo.
Yeah.
So there it is,
Oh, boy.
down there.
Yeah.
And if I just use the back of the sidewalk, I don't have
I'd
a
say that's
survey.
about 10 feet
Yeah, if I
from the
use
side,
that.
from the street. Right, you can barely fit the car
Here's,
there,
yeah,
20
here's,
feet maybe?
there's 30 feet right there.
It's around 20
Yeah, so it's
feet, I'd
not-
say, from.
So even under the old regulations, it's in the setback. If that's roughly where it is today, it's in the setback.
What if we continue this for a month and you work it out with it?
We can do that. He has been working with me.
Because I'm-
Yeah, I'm more than happy to move it. Believe me, I'd love to get in the water if I can afford it. You know, but the other thing is this is where I do keep it in the off season. So I'm like.
That's where I'm going. If you've been doing it for 20 years and it could have been okay then. Cause that picture looks like it's got screening. The screening might not be on.
Well, it would
on
not-
the
yeah.
property.
Right,
because
so
the front's not screened.
So how I would do these
But the side
inspections in the
is.
past, I would go to the front. Can I see it? How well can I see it?
Show the street view.
I'll do street view, yeah. So basically,
Oh, you got a street view?
oh, yeah.
I love Google.
Yeah, well,
So this is 2015.
Oh, that's an old picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So what I would do for my inspections would be, I would take a picture from the front,
is
I
that
would go to,
chain link fence still there?
Yeah,
and then I would take a picture here. And
What
a
if
picture here.
like I said, what if we continued it a month and you work it out?
I'll put on testimony, I can, is that, we are looking to perhaps adjust the regulations for this
Mhm.
in the future, but when I say in the future, I don't know how long that is. We're making edits on our new regulations.
No, I got it, but
So it could work out for the owner. There may be an easier solution than what the current regulations.
some things
say.
in the new regulations are surprising.
yeah, like I mentioned,
Sometimes,
Mhm.
sometimes new parts of the regulations are confusing. There are unintended consequences, others are more straightforward.
like I
But
mentioned
in a
to Ian,
situation where you've been doing this for 25 years, I don't, and it could have been made legal,
Yeah,
compliant with some screening, or maybe you move it back a
move back
little
just a little bit
bit.
more.
that's actually as far back as it'll go.
Don't say that.
And that's what I'm just-
What I'd like you to do is work it out during the next week and a half.
All right, now the other thing is I was
We're
gonna
just
buy
gonna take conversations.
a trailer. Put it on a trailer, so this way it's mobile. Is that against?
I don't know if they're gonna buy that.
We would
Yeah.
still consider it storage, if it's on bricks, concrete, or a trailer.
Well,
Because-
it's also our regulations do also point out that it is recreational trailers. So we would say
Are
the
they-
boat is on the trailer
I
there.
don't mean a pun, but is it boat, is this?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's used, so we can put it in the category if somebody had like dirt bikes or something and they.
I
had a
will,
trailer
all
on top.
right, I'm gonna continue this until July tenth, is that?
Sounds good.
That should be fine.
And then you just keep talking to the staff.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, I do wanna move it, I wanna get it in the water, but I'd still like to solve this for the future, so
Mhm.
it's not a problem.
Well, that's why you're gonna
Yeah.
talk to me.
I'll send you an email.
All right,
So, yeah, I mean,
Oral notice, okay?
Yeah, oral notice, okay? Or should
That's
we send, okay,
You
yeah,
make sure you put
I
it.
can put it in
Yes.
on July tenth,
Correct.
2 o'clock, same time.
Yes.
Right.
And this time, just you wanna show up and
All right.
up to you guys.
That's
How do you
fine.
wanna- Yeah.
I'm sure it was about before that. So what do we have? One more?
Yep.
Two more. I
Let's
believe.
well, a few more.
Fireside,
Anybody here on that?
no.
Nobody's here on that.
No.
Thank.
Everyone, thank you for coming. So we have Fireside and East
And
Avenue.
East Avenue's who's behind.
No one is here for
All right,
Fireside.
let's do.
I'll double check,
East
but I'm
Avenue,
pretty
East
so
Avenue.
Let's do East Avenue.
Okay,
I don't know if Fireside will show up. We'll do East Avenue.
this is,
Okay.
well, next. Decision form for you. You have a copy of the memo.
You have the citation?
Yes. Citation is. Did it order first to last, so. Citation
It
is,
was just.
uh,
Oh, that's the
that's
other
it,
case.
citation is this right here. Yeah,
I'm just gonna take a minute to.
oh, go for it.
Where is Zoom?
Okay, who's on your side testifying? You and,
Yes.
I may as well, why not?
all right, would you, and so would you all solemnly swear or sincerely affirm that the testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. Can you just give me a summary first before you get into all the details? What is the, this seems to be a permit, but the work is going beyond what the permit.
Correct, yes.
What is the permit for and how is it just beyond the scope?
Sure. So in 2017, Jonathan's Painting received a permit for 51 East Avenue for a office tenant fit up.
Right.
Supposed to be office use only, no retail sales on the property, and there was conditions of the approval for only one commercial vehicle to be stored on the property, and that there would be no building equipment or contractor yard equipment on the property.
That is on the screen right now.
Okay, that's the permit?
Yeah, it was issued in 2017 and closed out in 2018, I believe. Yes, in October 2018.
If I may also interject
Well,
there, Council.
closed out, you mean it's.
This is.
The CO and all that?
Yes.
All that stuff?
If I may also jump in there, this was also a letter submitted, just after the issuance of the,
Here's.
October 2017 approval, from the tenant, saying that in addition, not park more than one commercial vehicle at lot any time during business hours. Also, this was a follow-up permit, they amended the plans for and so basically how this worked was the first permit back in October was it used to be the old, Council, you may remember the old Kish building, Kish Realty on the corner of Route 1 and East Avenue.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, Kish, that's the building. So, the property owner rehabbed it to, two-family residence above and an office space on the bottom. That was in October of 2017.
okay.
And in December of 2017, was the actual tenant fit up for occupancy for Jonathan's Painting on the first floor.
Okay,
And then lastly, here's the certificate of zoning compliance. Jonathan's Painting, first floor, 2 residential units on the second floor. And again, even on the certificate, 1 commercial vehicle
Okay.
and not contractor's yard.
I say this was part of the condition and, you want me to do my spiel or?
well, well,
Yeah.
1 commercial vehicle
Mhm.
and
No
not a
contractor.
contractor's yard, which
Correct.
means you're not storing materials or anything.
Correct, yes.
Right, even at the, I'll be completely honest, at that time, this condition that was put on. Here on the original approval back in October. Unfortunately, that should probably not have been put on there. That was the zoning officer at the time, gave that authorization, so
Would
that's what
that
they
be,
have.
OE?
No, that was not actually. That was, Brian in our office.
Okay.
He issued that, so whatever's on the permit, that's what they get, even whether they shouldn't have gotten that or not.
Okay.
So the fact there's even 1 there is a little bit beyond
Okay,
what anybody
so,
else can get.
so the question then, right now, and just,
Sure.
you have to bear with me for a moment. I know it's gonna take a little bit of time for me to get a handle on this. I have seen none of this. The only thing I have is the agenda and 1 brief memo, so I'm trying to get a good understanding of the history and what's wrong.
Sure.
Okay. All right, in 2017, was the office use an of right use? Or did it have to go through site plan review
No, it was in, as of right.
as of right?
Yep.
Okay. The 1 commercial vehicle and the contractor's yard provisions, were they? Why did they end up, what was the basis for putting those conditions on?
So the one, as the 1 commercial vehicle, there was no allotment for that at the time, so technically it was prohibited. However, and this is purely my guess, the, officer at the time, we did have a provision that residential properties were allowed 1 commercial vehicle. So, the the permitting officer at the time, this was a 2-family residence. So it was a residential use, therefore they are allowed 1 commercial vehicle. You can't
Why
read
not
that.
2?
Not two. Yeah, even on
2
2
units.
but even on 2-family residential properties, it's only 1 commercial vehicle.
Okay.
That still carries through to today. So the
Okay.
officer allowed that. It is what it is.
Okay.
That happened. And then for contractors, so the reason that was put on there,
Contractor yard has been the subject of discussion, debate,
Oh,
and
yeah.
litigation.
absolutely, absolutely. And also, we do consider painting, businesses a contractor, obviously. So we
Well,
want.
painting is home improvement, but you could do commercial painting as well.
Absolutely, right, and it's so we consider painting to be any sort of contractor, so whenever. And this is not just because it's painting, we have just up the street from, this property. Rondano Contracting,
Mhm.
has their office on, East Avenue as well. They have the same provision, that they cannot store their equipment or, materials there. And they're right up the street, same thing, we give the same provision that this area can only be used for office.
So what happens under the current regulations?
Well, current regulations, it's the same, the current regs do not, permit contractor storage. And then that's the crux of this, is that it's contractor storage in, the East Avenue, zone.
Okay,
And we have that, I believe that is in the presentation here, I will.
On the very end.
Is it on the other one? I don't know if I want to go that far, if you want to present
Oh, yeah.
that to, council again.
Yes, what I'm handing you is the use table, for Article 4 in the regulations. The zone that is, that. the-
wait a minute, I'm looking for contractor yard in the definition. Is there a,
We might have it under building material storage yard.
It might be under building material storage yard, so it might not be under contract. Still getting used to the definition later.
Yes.
oh, that's not, oh yeah, building materials storage yard. Storage of equipment and materials used in building construction. Building construction is. There's no definition of those capitalized. Let's see if it's in the construction. See, development, okay. So, can you tell me specifically what the problem is right now?
Yes, so it would be the storage of the building materials, as well
And
as,
what materials are they?
the photos,
Yeah.
I'll present to you, getting there. So. Mainly, you can see
You
behind,
can't rotate that?
No.
What about the
I can't.
rotate button?
Ah,
we
watch.
have to pay a
May I?
feature to do it.
It was a 7-day free trial, but then I'm gonna be responsible. They don't pay me nearly enough for that kind of stuff.
Okay,
That's true. Yes, so I do apologize for those at home tilting their heads, right now. So we do have, several photos
well, it's a
showing.
dumpster there, which that shouldn't be a problem, should it?
Yeah, no, dumpster, there.
Office buildings have dumpsters.
Correct, yes.
Mhm.
It is the materials behind the dumpster, is the ladders or the building materials. I'll present all the pictures to you in hand. All John will have them. And
I'll be on here, sorry, ladies.
Yes.
Okay,
as, this, trailers, ladders, just
Okay.
building equipment. All stored outside when this was a clear condition not to have it part of their approval.
well,
Can I say something?
sure, yeah.
Okay. As you can see those pictures, right? So we are a painter contractor.
Mhm.
We purchased the building in 2018. We painted it in 2019, so it's about 5, 6 years since we painted it. We just started the season. We are in the process of painting the building right now as it is. However, we're not done. So the reason why you see those small items is because we're painting the building. Or I can hire a painting contractor to do my building, which might take a couple of weeks.
And they would do the same.
It will do the same then. Now, if you're telling me the way that you guys put it out is like, I have like a huge equipment, which I don't agree. I mean, when you see equipment, I mean, what kind of equipment are we talking about? Step ladders?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. I mean, we have, we had those original pictures, Counselor, that I just showed you. And then we also have another picture from May 14th showing the same, if not more ladders at the.
Mhm.
Well, let
property.
me just walk through what's
Sure.
here.
Sure,
Let me-
go for it.
Can I see the citation? I already took a look at. So we're really, are we talking about conditions of a zoning permit? Or regardless of the permit, zoning violations in and of themselves? In other words, if you didn't have a permit with these conditions, would this be a violation?
Absolutely. I would have absolutely sent the citation based on, 'cause I would
Okay.
say that this is storage, to this level.
Okay,
is
so the
more-
next question I have is, and maybe, sir, this is for you. In their memo, the staff says on 10/30/23. Planning and zoning director advised that commercial vehicles and equipment have begun to be stored on the property.
I do have photo evidence of here.
Is that, is this a picture that went with that?
Yes,
Okay,
if we love that from our best inspector Google.
okay. Can you, but that's the picture, right?
They'll pay me the email, yes.
Okay. Did you start storing outside, not the vehicle, but the ladders and the other things? Did
No.
that start?
No,
In
I have my
October
own,
of 23?
I have my own shop.
Then,
The only thing that I agree is the trucks.
oh, the trucks, okay.
I do agree on that. Sometimes more than one truck can stay overnight.
There is a notation on there that email was dated October 23. Right there it is, right there.
I'm sorry, yep, I lost
back
it for a
down.
second.
Yeah, I do, I'm just saying. I do agree. I'm not gonna deny it, yes.
Okay, all right.
Which again, I don't think, I mean, my neighbor here, I'm not gonna play the game, of course. But I guess because my corner has the most view,
Right,
I think that's the problem. Because Rondano puts more than 2 trucks, and Rondano is a friend of mine. The guy right here at the end of the corner, before you jump on the highway on the right side, there's a gutter company with 12 trucks.
he's also under violation by us.
Okay, there's also a company that's called Real Estate,
Mhm.
which has 14 trucks. I get your point, but I don't think it's that critical.
What'd you say, real estate and 14 trucks? What kind of real
WFL.
estate?
Yeah,
Real Estate.
WF, whatever.
I'm sorry?
There you go, WFL Real Estate. They're off of Colonial Place up here.
What are they? What are-
There's some sort of real estate. I don't think they're a
Like a
contractor.
maintenance
They could be
company or
like a
something?
maintenance. I don't think they're like a builder or anything. They might be maintenance and things like that.
But they do have a bunch of
And they,
trucks.
What's allowed in this zone?
oh,
I'm
Is
sorry,
that-
and by the
Yeah.
way, since there is new regulations on the
mhm,
town of Norwalk,
mhm.
there's any changes regarding this?
And that's where I was going.
Mm.
What you have there now is not even permitted today.
Mm.
So like, even having this kind of contractor's office with a commercial vehicle on it, in this zone is not even allowed.
Not even one?
Correct,
Mhm.
yes.
What
Okay,
is-
but I can keep, but I can
You can keep what you have.
I can
Yeah.
keep what you have.
Exactly, right. That's what I'm saying, is
Vehicle-wise,
like,
yes.
right now, you couldn't even come to us with this. Cause we'd say, no, not allowed.
I think the nature,
I will fight it, I will fight it.
Well, no, I said,
No, no,
if
no,
you,
no,
if
no.
you had, I said, if you just came in for the
You're-
first time, your
You
grandfather.
own it already.
Exactly.
Yeah, your
Your
grandfather.
grandfather. It's called legally non-conforming.
Okay.
I mentioned that to somebody else before.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
your painting business can stay there. That's not the issue here,
Right.
okay.
okay?
So this is, again, my issue was to keep couple truck, yes,
Right.
yes, yes. So my neighbor clean
What
his,
zone is this?
a CD3,
CD3.
yes. And I have the somewhat
Oh.
easier, for the storage of
I
building
have-
materials.
Yeah, these are.
Yeah. And there's also an overlay on this there.
Yes, the Eastern Avenue
East Avenue,
Builds District, I believe.
no, it's a
Village
transit
district?
village district thing. It's a village district and I think transit's involved as well, because it's on the corner of Route 1. Near bus stops.
Mm.
So
It gets
then-
complicated,
Yeah.
and I'm not.
Also,
not
how-
lying.
I know.
Why there?
So the nature of the permit that was done was for an office fit up, like office as in like you see it all over East Avenue, law office, small medical office, lawyer's office. Even office, a front office for a painting company, however, it's for office use, not for contractor or storage use. You're in this zone, in this area, you're not supposed to like be storing contractor equipment, commercial vehicles. It's just the wrong type of property for that. It's not a property that's on Martin Luther King or even on Route 7, such as Glengate, the big contractor yards. That's not the nature of this zone with the East Avenue Village District and Transit District. This is purely for office use, not for storage of materials, vehicles, that type of thing.
I need to step up for 1 second, so if you need to man this anyway,
You got it.
I'll be right back.
7:10.
Building maintenance. In CD3, building service establishment is allowed, permitted by right with limitations. So you go to business service establishment, it says establishments primarily engaged in rendering services to businesses, business establishments on a fee or contract basis, such as advertising, typing, duplicating, mailing, building maintenance. I guess painting is not building maintenance. You wouldn't consider that.
We won't have that definition.
Okay. So we're really down to how many vehicles are stored there.
Now, also,
Let me just finish. This is basically a business office, which you're allowed to have a business office in this zone
Yes,
now.
and yeah, the
You can
permit.
do
is
that now,
yes.
right?
Mhm.
So it is allowed.
Yes, the office, yes, like them occupying the building is allowed, it's.
so any of my trucks can stop by the office, pick up paperwork,
You could do that, sure.
so.
It's the storage of, like the overnight storage of the trucks, the ladders outside.
No, I get that, and I'm telling you, everything is clean, I get that,
Okay.
I totally understand that. We're not storing anything. We're not.
Mhm.
But again, my only issue is having a full truck here and
And
there.
you're a painting business.
We are painting,
Now, why aren't your hands all full of paint?
because I'm a good painter. That's why. That's why. And again, and I mean,
I get it. You bought the building. It works for your business.
it's great.
It's
We pay
good
so much
location.
taxes.
You got a little visibility because you have a sign.
Yeah,
And the real issue is how many vehicles you're allowed to store, right? I mean, you treat that as storage,
Storage, yeah.
not stopping by and picking up job slips or.
Yeah, if they are like stopping there for several hours, let's say the employees are having lunch there, that is also another. You know, it's there, keep the engine running, get the work, go out, that's one thing, but if it's parking, stopping, going to the building for several hours, and there are multiple vans like that, and especially when you.
Where do you draw the line is between a commercial vehicle and like a van with combination?
Yes, it is. We do have a definition for it. We base it off the state statute. Not sure what that, and the definition, page, the storage of
Vehicle commercial.
vehicle commercial,
Vehicle
yeah.
commercial.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
another fun thing too.
let me see.
Is a beyond a 1 ton capacity, I believe, with more than one axle.
More than 1 ton?
Or.
Or, yes,
You mean load capacity,
load
not,
capacity.
No,
Yeah, because
no,
my Kia is more than 1 ton, so it's
No,
like load
it
capacity.
is, Counselor, it is,
vehicle.
1 ton capacity. So yes, my Jeep
Okay.
would be a commercial vehicle, yes.
Any motor vehicle with commercial license plates or with lettering, marking racks or other apparent accessories indicate it's intended for use other than personal and or recreational transportation. Commercial plates or combination plates? What kind of registration plates? Is it combination on?
If I may, there is
It's because you got this other thing about the lettering and all
Mhm.
that. How many vans have lettering on them with combination plates?
we do have photo evidence, we even have like a regular Kia Soul with the lettering and everything, by the definition. This pickup truck in this photo, from April, they are all marked as Jonathan painting.
yes, they are.
Well, this one I could see,
Yes.
because that's got
Yeah, that's.
it's just 1,000 pound capacity. It must be.
All right,
Yeah, that's
it's a
a-
double axle, that definitely
It's
is.
a big truck, that's how.
But the vans, let me see what's here.
Even the picture from Google also does a very good job of showing. Where the.
All right, so what,
We take it as, it's not an or statement, it's if it checks any of those boxes, we're gonna consider it a commercial vehicle. If it has lettering on it, if it's over 1 ton, if it is commercial plate, if it meets any of those. we're gonna
so
take
you're
it.
saying anything, because these are, I can't tell.
What date is that? I can bring them up on the screen here.
That was one of the first ones, from the October 30th from last year, I believe.
October 30th.
Yes. That one,
It's
yes.
that one right there, yep, there you go. Whoops.
So while he's trying to find this
I got it.
picture,
There it
the
is.
equipment is gone.
Mhm.
No more equipment, so we're just talking about vehicles.
That's what we need to resolve.
Well, that's stay gone.
Okay, so that has no lettering. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean. If we want to get into a slight minutia of this here,
Well, I
it's
know
that it is
the
a,
definition gets into minutia,
It
and I don't
does,
think it's
that's-
really intended to.
I do believe that it is, the intent of the regulation is to prohibit. Markings, so a commercial vehicle not to be parked in either a residential zone or any zone which does not permit it. That. The regulation wants to consider something with advertising, signage, markings, placards as a commercial vehicle, thus prohibited.
So if a real estate agent has a passenger car
Mhm.
with a sign on the door that says XYZ Realty,
Well, I hope it's magnetic so they can remove it. Is it-
well, I'm serious. I
No,
mean,
I'm serious as well.
that's signage, that's
Oh, absolutely, and we would say,
lettering.
and we would. say
What would
that's
you
a-
do with that?
I'm one of those guys, Counselor. I would send, I send a notice.
And regulation does say, if I may, storage of not more than one. So if they have that one
Right,
van,
that's,
it's funnily worded, in the use table, it's storage of not more than one commercial.
so you can
vehicle.
have, so.
So you're
and-
allowed
and
one.
Yeah, so if you have
and
a
that's
realtor has
what-
a van,
so
that's
that
fine, but if,
condition that was on there was.
Can you
pretty-
live with one truck?
I'm sorry,
Where do your trucks park overnight?
we have a separate shop.
I may ask whereabouts?
What about what?
Yeah, where's the separate shop?
He's got a shop somewhere.
I just wanna make sure that we don't get another complaint.
I know, we're just talking about this.
Well, if you do,
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure you're not, compounding a problem somewhere else that may.
No,
back
no,
there.
if that's okay, you will
Yeah.
get a phone call.
Yeah, absolutely.
It might be at 10 Gregory Boulevard.
perhaps,
Or 8 Shadow Lane.
or
No,
Staple
it
Street.
says it right on the screen.
Well, that's back, that's where you used to live on Gray Boulevard, right? Now you're on Shadow Lane, right?
One of my guys lives in Gregory
Oh,
Boulevard,
okay. All right.
and I still own the property.
Okay, yep.
A Shadow Lane is my current home market.
So the
Yeah.
the equipment is gone,
The equipment's gone.
you said, right?
We still need to verify that.
Well, we will verify, but if
Well,
that's
yeah,
the
but I'm
claim.
trying to bring this to some conclusion, because he's been patient sitting here all afternoon.
Absolutely.
I don't wanna have him keep coming back, so the equipment's gone.
We do have, our regulations, I don't know if this is getting into a broader perspective on this, our regulations have changed so that there are more opportunities to find locations where storage of multiple commercial vehicles of just about any size are allowed.
What was,
So-
before the regulations changed, what was the definition of a commercial vehicle?
It is pretty much as, it would be 1 ton rated capacity as defined in the Connecticut General Statutes, I believe it is 14-1A. And basically it's, I think it's 14-1A, I think. Yeah, I can bring, I can bring that up there.
Statutes up there?
I can bring those up
Because
as well.
combination plates can go up to 12,500
They can,
pounds.
yep, absolutely. Let me,
You know, when we're talking about a citation, we're kind of talking about, oh, there you go,
yeah,
14.
14.
Keep going.
Yeah, it's down.
All right.
I'm sorry, this thing is just slow right now, I apologize. I think it is here.
Okay, yeah, definitions, yeah,
Yeah.
right at the top, first one.
Definitions, and it is, here we go, commercial vehicle, right here.
£26,000. 26,001 pounds.
But it including
Inclusive
Or
tow
design.
unit,
or is designed, that is basically a school bus.
transport more than 10 passengers, so it's not, these aren't commercial vehicles under this definition. What's combination?
Right, so the reason it referred to this in our previous regs and even today is that if somebody does have emergency or firefighting apparatus, basically a school bus, what's the other one here? A hazardous material, I'm assuming that's for like septic trucks, septic removal trucks, that if somebody has these, it's exempt under our regulations. So,
Okay, but look at 16.
right. In excess of 12,500, but so then we revert back to, because our regulations just call out the commercial vehicle.
Right,
So then in our regulations, it also says a commercial vehicle as defined here, not exceeding 1 ton capacity.
right, but this doesn't refer to the statute. The old one probably did.
That is that in the definition there?
Nope.
No,
Vehicle
that's,
commercial.
no, what I'm saying, that's the definition section.
Yes,
If I may, in section 4, beyond the use table, I do not know what that is. Hang on, if I may,
What
let
I'm
me try and
trying to
get there.
get at is you have a whole bunch of new regulations that
Absolutely.
went into effect in February, and you have a whole bunch of uses in the city of Norwalk that existed before that date.
I concur, but let me,
And in fairness to people who basically set up their homes and their businesses under the old regulations and in conformance with them. Now we have a new set of regulations, and the question in my mind, I think in many situations is, was it allowed before? The outside storage, definitely not, right? And
Right.
that's, and he took care of that.
If I may, this is also just so I can put it. Oh, it's vehicle commercial,
And
right?
also might be under storage of.
No, here we go,
Yeah.
right here. Yeah, good job, Ian.
Thank you.
All right, what's that say? 14.1.
Does not exceed 1 ton capacity.
What's that CE thing? Tag?
I'm sorry,
Oh, that's just how they
That's-
define the.
So, all right, so storage,
of not more than one.
what section is that in? Is that? for
That
this-
is,
for this,
article, yes, it's article 4.
What page?
I can, sorry
Go
about
down to
that. I got
page
282,
282?
and it's under the use tables limitations.
What is all of this? Is this like an explanation of what's in the tables?
Yeah, other limitations.
So when you see in the table,
Oh, I
that's
got it,
permitted
I
with
got it, okay.
limitations, those are the limitations on the use.
Oh, all right, okay, all right, so. Which does not exceed 1 ton rated capacity. That means. You get pickup trucks that are 1/2 ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton, and they're pretty hefty.
Oh, but I mean, I'll put it on record, doesn't matter, I'm just somebody, I think people should know. By this definition here, my Jeep Wrangler is a commercial vehicle.
My hybrid is not.
So
We have
that,
one. We have one.
I have one, but I'm.
Yeah, but what's interesting is this doesn't say anything about lettering.
This does not, but you revert back to the definition, it does.
Yeah, but you know, ambiguities go to the runner, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, tie goes to the runner, no, I know, it's.
Tie goes to the property owner.
And I think that there's. You
Okay,
take.
so let me just,
Sure, yeah.
we didn't, I'm trying to get to what the real issue is here, and it seems like you've taken care of one big one. Right? And the next issue is what can you park there? It's overnight parking, right? It's really what storage means?
Right, so you can have one storage, and that's always a big.
If it's
As
there,
you're aware,
if it's
that's,
there 8 hours in a day,
is that storage?
is that the 8 hours overnight, or is that 8 hours during working?
Is
time?
it 4 hours, is 4 hours storage?
Is it a truck that's there so that the guy in the office can jump in the truck and go to a job?
Right.
That's not storage.
Right, is it, where does parking become storage?
Yeah.
That's an age-old
What do
argument.
you need to operate there? What do you think you need to operate? All the equipment is gone, all the supplies are gone. Now we're down to vehicles.
so I'm
That big
allowed-
truck, no.
Yeah, I get that. So I'm allowed to have a full-time truck, right?
One commercial truck, yeah. Actually, that big one can go there.
It's over 1 ton, it depends if you take this here, it's over 1
Yeah,
ton.
but he's got this, yeah, but he predates this.
Oh, no, this was in this section, as you read right here under
Oh,
CD
is that
one,
pre-
that's a carryover.
That's pre,
That's
okay.
a-
Anyways, so
Yeah. Yeah.
let's be realistic.
Mhm.
I'm just purchased a new jar in Bridgeport.
Okay,
So
What'd you do in Bridgeport?
we just got a new jar, a big jar. So we're gonna bring all the trucks over there.
Okay,
I'm still gonna have one truck full-time in the office. So that's it.
okay.
So let's get it, let's get it.
that's perfect, yeah, so how long do you think, have you closed on the property up there?
No, we're having a hard time trying to. close that.
Maybe I would say if
A hard time trying to what?
close on the property,
Close the deal?
yeah. I would say, see,
You have to
if,
get a good lawyer.
just can't be that one.
Can't be this one.
yeah. So, I mean, I guess it depends how much you wanna stack your agenda for July already, we could come back.
Yeah, but this
and
one's
say-
just either a touch base or. Let me ask another fundamental question here. Has there been cooperation?
Your wife came in a few weeks ago, to talk it over. She said that she would, get, well, there's been minor cooperation. operation, yes.
So I think,
Well, wait, what do you mean minor?
Like, oh, stopped in the office once.
Somebody responded.
Yes.
And is trying to deal with it.
Oh, that
Now we have,
my office came the next day, yes.
Yes, yeah, someone from your office did come in.
So we did,
and he's here today, so. Right? I mean,
Notice
well,
works.
that shows the effectiveness of the notice.
I'm just
Uh,
thinking in
And we're
terms of.
comfortable.
If this was a chronic violation and it has a history of ignoring correspondence from your office, then that's one thing.
If I may,
Response.
this may help your, I know Ian has it, it's not part of a presentation, I could put this on as exhibit. I do have a previous file from 2020 with the same exact matter.
Well, oh, I didn't know about that. What was that about?
I have it right there.
I believe I have a copy of it. This was not entered in evidence yet, although.
It was under the same,
Same owner?
yes.
Yes.
So it was under the same owner, but this notice was under the same,
Yes,
procedures, the citations, but we've adjusted since. And plus also the property was in some regular compliance after that, so that's why we closed the file.
Mhm.
But it's the same matter, that they were non-compliance with the permit issued because there was more than
So
one.
this is one of those clean it up and get me through this and then over time, things.
One would think that, I think
no, yeah, it was before, but again, now we have,
Gotta keep an eye on this, you know what I mean?
I get it. Like I said, now we have a huge job in Bridgeport, so we're moving. You're not gonna see.
I just wanna make
But
sure that.
this time, because that's 4 years ago. This time, has there been a response?
Since we sent the notice, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Sure, but.
But we bring it, we brought,
Somebody's gotta initiate the communication.
Yes.
He's not gonna come and say, I think I have.
I have a problem,
violation."
no, right, no, exactly, you're right. Yeah, and since then.
You're gonna tell him you think he's got a violation.
There has been, and that's why I think, if going forward here, I think that's great news that you have a yard that you can actually resolve this in. Just the old saying, closings can take a while, you're having a little difficulty with that, so the reason I was saying, we don't mind a continuance, but I think we should have some sort of. Something tangible to say that it's moving forward, so whether that is the actual, hey, it's officially mine. The actual closing document, that it's mine, and we can move this over,
Yeah,
or.
but
we
does that
actually-
really matter? If he's got one truck parked there overnight, then there's no violation.
Well, that's what
Doesn't
we'd
matter if he's got
I'm
the
saying,
yard
we'd be
parked
checking it so
overnight.
that, because what I don't want to have happen is if we do a couple follow-up inspections between now and the next hearing, and there is more than one, but that's still continuance of the violation, we have a citation
Then we got an
issue.
issue.
Exactly, so that's why if
Yeah.
it's two routes, I was gonna put a bow on it with this, maybe, let's see if we can get something tangible to resolve this by the next continuance, and, haven't used this term yet today, perhaps a contingent fine to make sure that this happens. Because we do have some meat on the bone for a possible contingent fine if we wanted to.
But he's got the equipment's gone, they're allowed, how many trucks have been there?
On various times, anytime between.
Yeah, I know, but that's during the day when you drive by, but.
No, in the
No,
evenings.
same
Evenings,
thing
yes.
in-
Yeah, I mean, that's actually one of my photos in my inspection was out when I left here. When I was doing
I got
the
it.
late work for the city of Norwalk, at 6:30 at night. So is it still business hours for a contractor? Yes, but normal business hours is beyond it.
Well, it's an office, don't forget, it's an office, right?
Right.
So-
So it's in office, correct. And also, I want to put on the record as well, this is a mixed use building. This is 2 units above
Right,
with the business on the bottom.
Yeah.
Parking is very limited on that site. We would not have issued that permit if it could not
well,
support
you need off-street
off-street parking.
Off-street.
So
parking,
if there's more trucks there, that takes away from the
No, I got it,
available
I got
parking.
it. That's why you have the limit.
Right,
Okay,
right.
why don't we just continue it and you have, it's out there. I'm not a big fan of contingent fines,
That's
the
good.
way the ordinance is written, but it seems like you've made some strides here toward correcting the issues. And you're actually on the way to go to Bridgeport. Where do you do your work? Pretty much all over
Everywhere.
Fairfield County?
Off of the county, the city.
Okay. All right, so let's do that.
If any of that is, I have that, okay.
that our actual copy of the email right there? Got first page right there, the first page.
Yeah.
This is mine.
Oh, no, that
That
one,
one.
that's the one, the one
Oh,
with
yeah.
highlighter, we need that. We need that.
Yes,
Okay, so you'll see me back when?
July 10th.
July tenth, make sure you write it down.
Okay.
July tenth.
And put your phone.
We're all noticed you won't get a.
Yeah,
No.
we're not gonna send our constable out at $260 to remind you. To come on out, so.
Yeah, you got your, here, you need a pen?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
my phone just.
Right,
dropped.
there.
Like that.
Oh, this is
July
yours
10th.
too, if you
Here,
want.
that's yours too. if you
It's-
want.
Yeah, if you want to write on that too, that's yours as well.
Do you send agendas out to people or
No,
no?
But that's
Agenda was
posted
posted
on the
online.
website.
we just send notice, via Peter.
So the hearings are
July
2:00
10th,
seems-
what
July
time?
10th. Yeah,
2:00 seems to work.
Okay,
Yes.
it does, yeah.
okay.
Thank
So
you.
we'll see you back, July 10, and thank you so much.
Yeah, no,
Thank you,
keep
sir. Sorry. it
keep in
took so
contact
long,
with,
but-
Ian as progress for that.
Will do.
Thank you.
All right,
Take care.
thanks. We have one more.
One more, this one should be a doozy.
Nope, no better.
So this one,
16 Fireside.
Fireside, no one did come for this one.
And nobody's in the peanut
No
gallery.
one's in the
so-
peanut gallery. Grab that file here. So let's see. Decision form, you have a copy of the staff memo. Yep. Long story short, we received a.
Hold on, hold on. Let me just go back to your memo here. Fireside, is that off Phillips Street?
Yes,
Over by the
yes.
river?
yes, it is. It's
Yes.
also, yeah, it's actually,
Kind of on the S turn there by West Knoll.
you see, that's how we got this from, our friends in conservation, the ones that started
Mhm.
this one.
It's a
To
nice
said
area,
wetlands, yeah.
it's a nice area.
Okay, all right, so this, do you have the citation?
Yes. Notice. It is.
Did you get a green card back?
For this one, I do not.
For a notice or for the citation?
For notice, we did not, for citation, we did not. It was delivered through our constable service. However, I believe it was delivered in hand. We do have a proof receipt that we did send, through certified mail for notice and citation. It's that as well. And they have been in contact with me, so,
Oh, they have.
yes, they have, yes. Didn't show up today, but, and they have been, working with the conservation office,
So
within their
what,
department
so,
too.
well, if they were in contact, why are they not here?
I do not know.
This may be a case of they've been, maybe have been contacted with Ian to try and, remedy and just they. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink, so
That's
they
true,
may
yeah.
have just,
Because for instance, they did have 2 violations, they did cure one of them, the second one is, still, ongoing, same violation. It
When
was,
the First one.
the first one was the storage of commercial vehicles. Then the second one, the first one was storage of commercial vehicles, and the second was they never obtained a, certificate of zoning compliance for a permit. They here,
That's your memo.
yes.
How many vehicles?
There were 2 box trucks.
Get picture?
Yes, I do.
I got him somewhere here.
Yes, to be on the screen and
Close it.
courtesy.
Now,
of
what work are we talking about?
They,
That I have here.
yes, they did a rear addition, they did work to the rear. There's photos of it on the screen and giving it to you right now, working in the rear.
So basically, they did, this is a photo, they, added on to a detached structure. At the road, this is pretty much an wetland.
Mhm.
But the structure was
Why
existing.
isn't there no citation for that?
Well, so it was work without permits. They got,
They
uh,
did the,
well,
dormer? Is that?
Yeah,
a-
the
Yeah,
the
dormer
dormer
was
here
there, yes.
recited, and they also, what,
Well, you need a permit, or at
correct,
least you need a building permit for siding. For the
Yes.
dormer, you probably need a zoning.
oh,
permit.
absolutely,
Yes.
and this is what initiated, this is Alexis in our conservation office forwarded this to us.
That's a year ago.
Right.
Yes, yeah, and that was this here, they did receive they had applied and got a permit for the after the fact work. It was the balcony at the rear of the house and the dormers for the shed, so they did come in October of last year to get a permit of it. This is what's
finished?
not closed. The work appears to be done. We did not do any inspections of the work itself, so it's not, a certificate has not been made.
Hence, they don't have the steps, therefore, in theory, the work without
Yeah,
permit
but
violations.
they wouldn't have a CO for it either.
Correct, yes, if
They would have nothing, they have
You
nothing
get,
on
you
record for
get
this.
completion on the siding, but you need a CO for the dormer, right?
Correct,
yes.
and they just have permits, they don't have the certificates
Mhm.
from us or building.
And the way this came to our attention for us to take enforcement action with a neighbor complained to us regarding the box trucks.
So the work on the house,
Mhm.
that's addressed. It's just the permit's still open.
Yes, permit's still open.
Correct.
They never closed it out.
Okay,
Yeah, so basically in 2013, I did send them a notice for the work without permits.
no, I got it.
So then they did come in.
Yeah, but
eventually.
that's been, it's addressed by the issuance of a zoning and building permit.
Correct, it's just not,
It's just, they didn't
Yes.
follow through on it. So
Yes.
and that's why, well, we put it on the citation just to
Just for
make sure
background.
they're aware that, hey, you're not done yet,
Mhm.
you know? And then here's the approval for that.
Mhm.
They
All
even
right.
said proposed work violation, never seen that before.
They proposed.
I thought that was interesting, anyway. But yeah, after the fact, balcony. And that was in October. So, you know, our permits are good for, you have 6 months to pull a building permit. And then
And you
once
got
the
6
building,
months to keep doing work.
well,
In other words, you
no,
gotta, you can't have more than a 6-month gap in work on a building permit.
for a building permit, correct, but for our permit here, if they can get, they
Right,
can
but
go
once
5
you get
months.
a building permit, you're,
Ours is open in perpetuity, as long as that's open.
Mhm.
yeah,
Right. Right, and then in March, we
Mm.
got a complaint from the neighbor
Yes.
regarding the box trucks.
Yes, box truck, more than that, box trucks, ATVs, just a
A
lot
lot
of
of stuff going on.
crazy
Yeah.
dog barking. So I did do an inspection. The ATVs is not in the realm of zoning to enforce, but I did see the box trucks.
Yeah, there they are.
Circled there on the screen, sent notice.
okay, so what is the, fifth day after the date of the citation?
I got that, I'll bring that up in, slowly but surely. That would be the 28th.
Yesterday. Cause I sent it out on
Yeah.
the 20.
Yesterday would have been the
Fifth day.
5th day.
Following the 5th day after the citation.
Hmm.
When's the last time you were there?
Last time I was there was,
Hang on.
last inspection
Hang
was
on.
the 20th.
9 days ago?
Yes. And that's when I did the inspection on the 20th.
Oh, yeah, but this citation's after the inspection.
Because they haven't reached out to our office to close out.
No, I got it,
yet, so,
I'm trying to
Okay,
calculate.
yes,
So you got, the date of it is the 23rd. 5 days later is.
yesterday. Hmm.
So today is day 6.
Yes,
So technically $300.
So it's maybe, because
Maybe.
we're not done with today yet.
No, we're not, but we also have the $150 from the initial issuance of the citation.
What do you mean?
So if you read the citation in the.
No, I gotta hear it.
Yeah, no, it says right in the, on here. Oh, that's the notice, where, hang on, we get the citation here.
we also sent the notice.
right here.
To,
I just wanna make sure I
I
get
do too.
it properly there. You are ordered to pay $150 fine and could be liable for $150 a day after the 5th.
Yeah,
So it's an automatic $150. When we send the citation.
oh, so you also cited, you cited commercial vehicles
Mhm. Which has been. cured.
and certificate of zoning compliance not obtained.
Correct.
Okay. So why don't they just take this as an uncontested matter and put a fine of $150 in and just,
Could do that, just so you're aware as well, as a matter of procedure. Once if you assess a fine, whether it be $150 or $150,000, we have to send a new citation.
oh, I know that, but you don't have to do another notice.
Correct, but now their clock starts at
The
zero.
clock already is running.
Right, so then the next, but once, so this is, again, this may be something to, refer to corporation counsel. And this is why I've done with Attorney Olbers and why you hear that word contingent fine, because
I don't like that.
I know, I figured it, but here, the reason, Gary does this is because he knows if he issues a fine, I start over.
Yeah, but
With the
start with
citation.
another citation
Right,
with a daily accrual, so you could issue a citation tomorrow, by the time we get to July 10th,
right, so
you're-
the difference is what Gary,
30 days into it.
Gary, he avoids is if they pay that fine. They pay, it's on, they only, if, I'm
So
using
they
this, I'm
pay
using
it,
this as an
they pay it and
example.
they get another citation, they haven't corrected it yet.
Right, but Gary, I guess
But you
his,
know what your leverage is here? They need to get a certificate of zoning compliance,
oh, absolutely,
Yes.
and they're
right,
not gonna get it without paying the fine.
right. Well, and what would, I guess the,
Right.
how I've always looked at, once Attorney Sapienza told me that that's what we should be doing, once the citation is issued, we issue another citation. Is if you kick, if I'm just using these guys as an example, not anything that should be done, is kick it to July 10th. Let's say they still don't have their, so they don't have their certificate of zoning compliance. That's approximately $6,000. What's gonna end up being. So then it's
Yeah, but
6,000.
It could be that anyway. You could issue a new citation, put it on July 10th, and we're still racking up fines.
It would just be, I would, after that hearing, I would just,
Except this time you don't have to do the notice
which is very true.
with a
That's-
deadline.
No,
So
that's very true.
You're 10 days ahead right there,
Right.
right? Or what is it, 10 or 15, what's the notice?
Notice is 15,
15.
which is even better.
And under the rules, if you had a citation for the same violation within the previous 24 months, you don't need another notice.
Right. Oh, no, we don't send, it's just a matter of if we send the site,
The thing I don't like is keep having these things end up never ending.
well, I guess, and
I'd
Yeah.
rather have it done and then you issue a new citation, put it on for July 10th for another.
I guess we,
Do a hearing and then-
maybe Attorney Overs doesn't want me saying this, but it's. If you took what Attorney Overs does, kicks it, and he actually assessed the fine when what he said was not done. Then I think there's more effectiveness. I think there's also more, so if in this case,
How many people actually pay that?
well, they don't, and the idea is. If you get a $6,000, $7,000 fine, I can give that to Attorney Sapienza. He puts as a lien on the land records, which,
Yeah, but
could
you gotta
become
wait till
foreclosable.
next month anyway.
well, you could, but then, that's true, but it's already there. It's there and we can.
No,
the
it's
thing
not.
is, It's already on the land records. It could be. We gotta wait
Yeah,
30
you-
days, but yes.
I don't think you can assess a fine until you close the hearing. That's the rub.
Staff would accept $150
That's the rub.
citation and then we'll continue.
Because what you do, you're mailing out another citation, you do it certified and the clock starts. But they already have 150 is already there and they gotta pay it in order to get a CO.
Well, right, and that's, I
In a
guess,
case like this where you got basically. You know, if they wanna come in next month and request. That I vacate the fine, they can do that,
right,
but I'd rather have it. In place for real. Than not, and one of the other issues that I don't wanna. Have happen is you get into one of these never-ending continuances. With a contingent fine. You're supposed to submit the fine to Superior Court within a year,
right,
and if it hasn't been assessed. That now you're on a, which way
Well,
is
right,
it?
no.
If it hasn't been assessed, if it's contingent, what happens after a year?
Well, that's why I believe if you were to, you look at the fines that turn, like, for example, I just
You
used
rack
Gary.
up some pretty hefty fines in 2 years, but if you haven't gone to Superior Court with it, what good is it?
Well, right, and that's why I think Attorney Overs, for example, there's a few that. There's
You
a
know, you
few,
got one that's kicking around for 2.5 years.
well, but attorney, even our counsel has said that, if it's more than, even if it's more than a year old, you have to recite. If we have not sent it to Superior Court.
Yeah, you gotta
have to-
recite
You gotta
it, yeah.
recite, so. I think of all of our citations that have been assessed, all fines that have been assessed by Attorney Overs, they have gone within that calendar year.
What if we did this? I'll do it this way this time, see how it works.
I just for the record,
Oh,
No,
yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
I mean, it's, for me, the way I read this, and, you know, people can differ,
No, right,
but I'd rather have something that I'm comfortable
absolutely.
will all be upheld in court, and where you really get the leverage is the next time, because now you got a whole month and a half,
Mhm.
except for that,
5 days.
5 days,
Right,
because now you don't have to do the notice.
Hmm.
And maybe it's a little more work and
oh, no, that's,
$6 to do the certified mail. I'm not worried about a constable going out unless you have some reason to
oh, no,
think that
no.
somebody hasn't actually received it. But, you know, you get the green card back, or even if you don't. Or
No.
what do you do if you send it certified and then send a copy regular mail?
Well, we do that, too.
We do that, yes.
We do. both.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, no, I.
may get one back unclaimed, but the other one, you're either gonna get, you won't hear it back from them, or
I agree in this case, because they do, we do have leverage.
this might be the prime case for it.
Right,
Best
because they
case
have the
for it,
leverage
You
of the
already have
certificate.
something else in the hopper.
Right, we also, as you say, we have the leverage of the CO, if they, to close this out, they need to get the CO. Another thing that was enters in my mind is that we did at one point assess fines, borderline, like, I don't wanna say it this way, like punitive fines, like a couple $100, few $100. And we just don't have a collection method. If it would have to be a lien, it would have to be a court order, it would have to be.
Yeah, but now you just upstairs, they just go on it electronically to get the judgment on the way that it goes, and
And that's what, it was just one of those. I
now
guess,
you're running judgment interest.
right,
So I'll
They're like
state again that
10% or
staff
something.
is accepting of your offer to assess $150
Just a
fine.
suggestion, I mean, that's the way I would prefer to do it.
right,
Because then you're not gonna get somebody coming, well, that's punitive. Or you deliberately waited a month and a half to rack up a fine.
Mm.
You know, this way, the fine is there, and when you send out the next citation, you know, they're gonna get a notice of the decision here anyway,
right.
all right? And you send out the next citation, say, all right, you already owe $150, you know, now, here's another citation. You know, but the other thing is, you still have to go out and do an inspection to document,
That's true, yes.
right? I mean, you don't have one today, so I can't. There's no evidence today,
Mhm.
but there is this, which they didn't contest, so.
I do want to say for the record, they did, because the homeowner did come into the office when they first received the first notice I sent, and, he was willing to remove the trucks. It's just so we're still waiting on the, to initiate closing out the permit. They are in contact with another department, the conservation department. I believe they actually did an inspection today for the wetland issues in the back. So I do have confidence that they will come in, but again, we have no insurance, so like to repeat what Tammy said, staff would support your decision for that.
I mean, why aren't they here?
I have no idea.
All,
I mean, that's-
all very
I
good
have no
questions.
idea.
I'm just seeing if they have a building permit for that.
Okay. Well, they have a permit,
So they
right?
have our
Oh,
permit.
yes. October
Um,
last year, so it should be sometime after that.
This is. They do not,
They do not.
because this was, that permit there was issued in August,
No,
I'm sorry, in
October.
October of twenty
2023.
twenty-three. There are the only building permit from 2023 is from
Before that.
before that.
Hmm,
January
okay, yeah, so
2023. So they
yes,
do
they do
not have a building permit. at the
they do
moment.
not, okay. And so technically this would, that's not started.
No, it's not.
Okay, yeah,
It's not expired.
yeah, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
It will be
that's
next
right.
month. It will
Yeah,
be expired next
That's true,
month.
so,
what, yours?
Yeah,
What, how long are they good for? 6 months?
6 months.
And it's 6 months to get a building permit, and once they get the building permit, yours is open.
right, but they haven't even, I've not even gone over there with this
No.
yet, at least to our records here. I mean, there's a chance
So that
that,
tells me they did the minimum amount necessary to avoid. To get through
Hmm.
zoning.
right?
Yes, and did not
And
continue afterwards.
they're kicking the can down the road, but that's about all they're doing.
Mhm.
I was gonna double and triple check everything.
What's Alexis say about, is there a wetland permit?
There is.
I believe, them doing the work started a wetland.
They do have a
issue.
permit, yes, issued on in June 2023,
Last year.
Wait a minute, where is it?
right here.
It looks like the corrective
Okay.
action. Yeah.
Corrective action,
Well, that's good for 5 years, right?
yes, there's good for 5 years, and they don't need to actually pull.
Well,
the building.
corrective action is, that could be like excavation, and putting a shed.
Well, yeah, 'cause I think that part of the issue was they did put, another, one of those tent carports up as well, right in the wetland.
Where, yep, oh, in the wetlands?
Or in the upland, definitely in the upland review area, but may have actually been in there.
All right. I will make this an uncontested matter based on the record, which is the citation, the lack of a request for a hearing, and lack of or the owner's failure to appear at the hearing. The fine is what's in the citation, $150,
$150.
That's all they're,
which is all there can be, because timing wise, it's the $150 plus, you gotta wait 5 days.
Mhm.
Then you need to inspect and document and everything, so. All right, so that, and then in the ordinary course, however you deal with, following up on this, you do, and then if there's another citation you do, we'll just have to deal with
yeah,
it.
just so, yeah.
Yeah, this should be the motivation. Hopefully,
Uh,
hopefully. I need
all right, so the violation is, this is citation.
citation, I believe. Yeah, we decided them on two things, so.
4.3.9D,
That was the commercial vehicles, so that one they did remove, but the 8.4.11.B, that's failure to obtain a certificate of zoning compliance.
oh. Okay, but this is in the citation, all right, so
Yes.
it's 4. 8.4,
Oh, yeah, 8.4.11. Point B.
number of days liable. One. And so failure to obtain. Certificate. Of. And it's for.
The permit was for the balcony at the rear of the house, and the dormer is for the shed structure. Half better handwriting than mine.
What's the other thing?
The dormer is the shed, yes. The shed was existing, they just modified it.
Balcony at rear of house and dormer.
For the shed, correct, yes.
How many dormers?
I believe it was just
Two.
two, yes, one each side.
So you're gonna give a certificate of, so this is it, right? Oh, and then here's page one.
I think it's- And yes, that was the last item on the agenda today.
What do I do? Just hit.
Yeah, I'm possessed, yeah.
Awesome. So this should conclude the May 29th hearings. Thank you for everyone who joined in. Thank you for the.
Yeah, well,
Before you sign off, staff
I
wanted
guess
to,
everybody, there's nobody else.
no,
and
I've been
looks
checking.
like Nobody signed in.
not live, no, but staff wanted to publicly acknowledge
Oh.
and thank our
Thanks.
new zoning hearing officer for donating their valuable time to the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next set of citation hearings will be June 26th. I'll be back at the helm with Attorney Oberst, and the mission is still free.
We're adjourned.
Yes.
Around.